On behalf of Crosscheck Media and Biz Talk Today TV, welcome everyone to Power Hour. I am your host, Todd Schoenberger, and joining me today is Republican candidate Bernie Flowers, who is looking to represent District 3 in the great state of Maryland inside the House of Representatives. Of course, Bernie, welcome back to Power Hour. We need to start talking about the war in Iran. I really need to get your thoughts on this. Now, I'm not going to, I know your stance on the war. I understand that. And you being 2 decades plus in the U.S. Air Force as well as the National Defense. So I understand that. I think everybody knows your position. But I want to ask you about this War Resolution Powers Act. This is coming up. Really, it was enacted in 1973, but what it's doing is it's going to force the hand of the president to really make some decisions coming up. He has until May 1st, as you know, to either withdraw from this conflict or go to Congress and have to sell the fact that we have to be in this war. What do you think right now? I mean, constituents right now seem to be against the war. Are you at all worried that constituents might force the hand, especially of the Republican power or the leadership inside the House, that they may have to really think hard about continuing this war?
Todd, first of all, it's always a pleasure to see you, old friend, and I thank you for having me on your program, man. You guys do some great work. As far as this war powers thing, the president is the executive. Do I agree with the war? Well, I never want to go to war, but we're in this thing, and we need to support our president, especially in this time of trouble. Yes, Congress should have some, say about how we do things and, how things go. But, the idea of stirring up trouble right now, just not a good time. This is a very complicated situation, and I understand that the president is trying to get this thing over with as quickly as possible, but it becomes political. And this is what I see with this War Powers Act. The people that I see that are pushing this forward are not true blue Americans the way I see it. They're not doing this out of a good space. They're doing this for political purposes. And so I don't agree with what they're trying to do. Let the president do his thing. He's in the middle of negotiations with a foreign power, and he's working on behalf of not only the United States, but the entire world.
I completely agree with you on all of that. We definitely need to support President Trump. I mean, nobody likes to be in the war, but you're absolutely right. We have to see this thing through and make sure we leave on our own terms. With that, there is talk of a potential second round of negotiations this week, and it's supposed to happen tomorrow. However, as of right now, Vice President Vance has yet to leave Washington. I assume he will be headed to Islamabad if the Iranians are going to be there. But with that, though, do you think that we're letting them kind of rule these negotiations? Because it seems like they seem to feel like they have a lot more power than what I think the president thinks they have.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, and I'm glad you did. First of all, think in terms of the leadership in Iran who we started with are now dead. So we're dealing with people that are not necessarily their A team. And the reporting that we're getting from liberal outlets, remember, everything that's coming out of Iran from their side is controlled by the media. They don't have a free press like what we have. So you really can't trust what they're saying. And what I do know is they're losing $450 million a day in revenue, and that's going to put a crimp in their sales. So we just have to have faith that our president is working on our behalf and doing the right thing. And I believe that we'll work this thing out because the entire world's economy is at risk here. And I know the president is aware of that and he's trying to fix it as fast as he can.
So let's say that the ceasefire does not, or it does expire tomorrow and it is not extended. The conversation does not happen with the Iranians. They're just going to just stand their ground, I guess, and try to fight. What's the move, though? I mean, because you would think then this can think of really escalate because now you have to go back to the part. But what are your thoughts about boots on the ground? I mean, it seems like that might be the next phase of this.
Well, here's the thing that people don't seem to understand. And, I've been over there and had some significant dealings with not only the military but also DoD. And my thoughts, the president doesn't have to do anything. Putting boots on the ground, even though we have a superior technological force, when you put boots on the ground, you don't know what's going to happen. And I highly, highly recommend against that. But the thing is, just would imagine this scenario. The president says, okay, you don't want to negotiate. We're just going to hold where we are. Remember, as I said, they're losing $450 million a day from their revenue. They're going to run out of money pretty soon. They put on a blockade. Now we put on a blockade on top of their blockade. And the only way that, they're getting real economic help is through the
The trade,
straits. Yeah,
right?
thank you. I'm getting old.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I know it's a lot. It's a lot of moving
Now,
parts to this.
now they do have the opportunity through the Caspian Sea area to do a land route for their goods, but that's a huge country. It's just the size of Alaska. People don't even realize how big it is. We're not dealing with what we were dealing with in Iraq. We're dealing
Mhm.
with a mountainous place, and it's huge. And to be able to logistically supply that entire country when all they do is oil is going to put them in a really tough situation. And remember also, there is internal unrest going on in Iran right now. Most of those people are Persians, and they don't like being ruled by the mullahs that are in charge. So
Mhm.
there's a lot going on. You've also got the Kurds up to the north. A lot of things could happen. But as far as the president is concerned, he doesn't have to do anything but maintain his naval blockade, and eventually they give up.
Yeah, that's a very good point and a very smart point on the size of Iran. A lot of people, I don't think, realize how big this country really is, and it has 92 million people. I mean,
It's
it's a huge
huge and
population.
mountainous. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah, in the
huge.
mountains, it's very and that was the thing with Midnight Hammer. Had to use our bunker busters to get in there to get down into those mountains to take out their nuclear capabilities. But yes, a lot happening, and I know we'll have you back obviously to talk more about it. Hopefully, the war will
Anytime.
be over by then. So let's bring the conversation back home then. Let's start talking about the state of Maryland now. Wes Moore, Governor Moore is getting, I mean, he seems to be in the news every day. He was at the Oriole game. Everyone at Camden Yards booed him.
Boo.
And nobody really likes this guy, but yet he continues to keep persevering with his energy and economic policies that seem to be failing left and right. Are there any of his policies that you agree with, and which ones do you strongly disagree with?
I'm thinking really hard to find something that he does that I agree with. And right now, off the top of my old head, I can't think of anything I'm happy with that he's done.
I
All he
agree with
does
you.
is smile. And, his smile is disingenuous as far as I'm concerned. And as you mentioned before, the Oriole game, just recently, opening day, people let him know where he really stands with Marylanders. And from what I understand, his approval rating is below 50%. And I think that, it's probably even lower than that. We get those polls from, friendly newspapers that are friendly to him, but he is just not doing a good job. And now you're taxing paint. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some self-improvement to my house, and he's gonna tax paint, and then he's gonna take the money that he makes from that and give it to some nonprofit that's not even a Maryland nonprofit. So this guy is a big zero as far as I'm concerned, and I'm gonna do everything I can to oppose him wherever I can.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. I completely agree with everything you just said because I mean, from a policy standpoint, there's nothing that's out there. I don't understand how or why anyone would vote for him. But then you go to Baltimore with Mayor Brandon Scott. He is
Ugh.
now looking to lay off police and fire department officials, and then he's looking to expand again his own government within City Hall. He wants to have up to 140 people working for him in City Hall. 1 year ago, it was 40. So you have to wonder the spending that's taking place. And here they're trying to grow Baltimore City and get people to move back there. I just don't understand what the governor and the mayor are trying to are working because I would think they're working in tandem, knowing that Baltimore is Maryland's biggest city. But what do you think?
Todd, we're talking about the blind leading the blind here.
Yeah.
I was in Baltimore City on Saturday. I was at a church event with some friends, and I don't know if you know John Myreg, Top Fuel Bill, Brenda, Cam. These
Great
people are
people. Great
Yeah,
people.
great people. So we're down there at this church, Simmons Baptist Church, and I got there maybe about 10. And I noticed when I walked outside, 11 o'clock, there was this lady literally laying on the sidewalk.
Oh
And
boy.
she was cracked out. She was in a bad way. She didn't know where she was. She was in a terrible situation. I thought about trying to physically go help her, but that was not what I was there for. And I was there within 50 feet of two churches. But what I noticed was there was no police presence. I didn't
Yeah.
see not one cop in the 3 or 4 hours I was there. That woman was on the street. When I got there, she was on the street doing the same thing when I left. And we pay a lot of money in social services. That's what Mayor Scott and the governor kind of run on, that they're supposed to be taking care of people. I don't see people being taken care of. As I said before, I saw no police presence. I saw just chaos. And we spend way too much money in taxes for that to occur. And it happens every day. Those people are living in chaos, and we got to do better.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And some of those issues in Maryland, I mean, clearly it's about taxes, cost of living, just the overall business climate seem to be deteriorating in the state. With you in the House of Representatives, what issues can you do to advocate for at the federal level that may help Marylanders?
Well, let's talk about affordability. Here's the thing. As a congressperson, we should be working on getting some power plants in here. They have gone through their green energy push with Westmore. They've killed, several power plants, and that's made the cost of power go up for the average Marylander. And in the meantime, I've got a lot of experience working with NERC and FERC, North American Electric Reliability Corporation, Federal Electric Corporation. Bottom line is, I know how the power grids work. And the bottom line is, we should be in the building of nuclear plants. We should be in the building. We in the process of bringing in modular nuclear plants. We should be in the process of building gas plants. We've got plenty of gas here in Maryland. We've got coal. Yeah, people say coal isn't clean, but the issue of the day is, I'd rather have a coal plant than be cold. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Right.
So there's a lots of things that you can do at the federal level that can help change things. And I just feel that the knowledge that I have and the background that I have and the experience I have, let's go back to the military, for example. Those Navy ships that you see doing those blockades, those big
Hmm.
gigantic aircraft carriers, they're powered by nuclear power. Okay, they're floating around all over the world, and you don't hear of any incidents, and they're going into war zones and danger zones with nuclear powered aircraft carrier. Let's take some of those modular designs, bring them here to Maryland, and lower prices for the American Maryland consumer. That's one of the things I'd like to see done. And there's a lot of other things that we could do, but taxing the paint, how about that? He's out of control. I mean, that guy. And let's just lower some fees wherever we can. And also, we're a little bit too dependent on the federal government here, and we could do better. Let's try to bring in some more industry into Maryland, into District 3. We do well. We got a lot of educated populace here, but we are so dependent. Let's gradually try to bring more business in and have less dependence on the federal government. That's how I see things.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the paint tax is ridiculous. But as you remember, Governor O'Malley had
The
imposed
rain
a
tax.
rain tax. Yeah, and that was ridiculous. And I mean, we've been trying to save the Chesapeake Bay. I don't know if the license plates are still there, but it was always this premium that you'd pay for your license plate to
Yeah.
save the bay. We've been trying to save that bay for 40 years.
A
It's like
long
when's
time.
it go? So then they imposed this stupid rain tax, and yeah, that was ridiculous. But fortunately, Governor Hogan got rid of it. But now there is this feeling that we're reverting back to the high taxes, the high fees, and it's just DMV fees. It's one
Yeah.
thing after the other. It's becoming increasingly difficult to live in Maryland, and it's such a great state. So hopefully things will improve very soon. So let's turn to your campaign now. You have four Republicans that are running. You're one of four. You have five Democrats, but they're on their own island right now. You have so of the four, you were the only one to file last year. You were eager for this position. You want this position. You know that you can help Marylanders. The other three came in at the last minute. two of those three, I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. I don't even think they have a website up. One fella is rather aged. I think he's at 76 years of age, and then you have this other guy. I forget his name, but the point being is that he's also a veteran like yourself, but again seems a bit disorganized right now, considering he just filed in February. Right now, you are looking great for this primary in June. What are your voters telling you though, or the constituents? Are they giving you any type of feedback? Are they giving you a positive vibe that yeah, this thing is going your way, at least to get through the primary? I mean, give the audience a little bit of an idea.
Well, I'm feeling pretty good about the whole thing. I think you know my background. I don't know there's anybody, politically that is as qualified or experienced as I am with the federal government to include Westmore. And so these other characters, they got in at the last moment. God love them, but the one of these guys used to be a Democrat. He changed his affiliation from
Right.
Democrat to Republican, and then decided to run as a Republican. It's hard to take somebody like that seriously. So the bottom line here is that we haven't had strong conservative leadership in this area in a very, very long time, and this is the time for it. And I'm the right guy for it. We're getting a lot of success. I hope you don't mind me mentioning we're having a gathering at Oscar's Ale House over in Marriottsville on the 5th of May.
Yep.
I shouldn't really say that out loud. We're kind of pre-advertising, but if anybody wants to come out, we're just going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to talk and answer questions. But the idea is that the campaign is strong. We're putting up signs. We're doing all the things that we need to do. And I just feel that this is our time. And once we get past this primary, I want to stand up against Sarah Elfreth and put my resume with my military background and my government experience against her resume. And oh, by the way, I often wonder how it is that a freshman congressman got on the House Armed Services Committee. That sounds absolutely insane to me. But that's normally a committee that takes a long time to get onto, but she was put on there as a freshman. So it just seems a little odd to me. But the campaign is strong.
Yeah, K Street lobbyists. I mean, you know how it goes in Washington inside the Beltway, and you can actually tell the audience here we are on BTT, which is streamed everywhere, so you can tell the audience about the events, and which is nice. We're not beholden to those FCC rules, at least not yet for streaming platforms. But with that though, I do want to go into the numbers a little bit, and you know these numbers better than I do, Bernie. So correct me if I'm wrong. But in the last election, you have in District 3 of Maryland, 550,000, we'll say approximately 550,000 registered voters. 150,000 of them are Republican. The government has released statistics that upwards of 80% of registered voters do not vote in the primary election. So when you start breaking down numbers and you see where you stand, it seems to me that you really need about 16,000 votes to get through the finish line, at least through the primary. I don't know if these are the numbers that are calculating for you, but I everywhere I go in District 3, there are yard signs everywhere. So I know you don't want to jinx anything, but with this, are you already going through June thinking, okay, I'm going into November, or is there a strategy that maybe the voting public doesn't know about?
Um, I wouldn't say the voting public doesn't know about. I'm encouraging people to do absentee voting. And what I mean by that is vote early. The Democrats do that. They organize, they get the votes in place. And as a Republican, we're hardcore conservatives, a lot of us, and we're like, hey, we're going to go there and we're going to vote on voting day and we're going to wave the flag. Well, life happens. And a lot of times people who intend to vote early or intend to vote, period, life happens and they don't do it. And that's a big portion of how we end up losing. So one of the things I want to do, and if you check me out on social media, you'll see that I'm encouraging people to do absentee ballots. It's legal here in the state, and this is how we've been losing. And in the meantime, we don't want to lose close elections. And I'm telling you, if I can just get past this primary, and I feel very confident that we will, but get me past this primary, get me on stage with Sarah Elfreth, and I will show you what I can do. And I think you'll be very, very pleased.
And there are lots of changes going on in Maryland. District 3 obviously is up for grabs. District 5 is Steny Hoyer's old seat. He is retiring
Yeah.
after 45 years of being in Congress. There are 30 candidates running for that seat.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, for voters, I can't even imagine what that decision-making process is like. But fortunately for you, you have your opponents are late to the game. They don't seem to really know what very much what they're doing. So I know that you're going to do the better. You're going to do what you need to do for the voters in District 3 of Maryland, which is wonderful. I want to just quickly on the campaign though. You have the event coming up in May. You have a number of key hot button issues going on in Anne Arundel and Howard counties. One of which is horse racing. You got the Preakness coming up. Now, there's a lot of talk about maybe the Preakness should leave Maryland, maybe it shouldn't. And you have Laurel Park, which is located in Anne Arundel County. What are your thoughts on the horse racing industry overall? This used to represent 20,000 jobs in the state of Maryland. I mean, are you? I don't know if you're a horse racing fan, Bernie, but I mean, when you have that kind of calculus as far as how many people are employed in that industry, is that an area of focus from the constituents? Are they asking you what you're thinking for that sport?
You have been the very first person that's brought that up. But here's the thing for me. Anything that is legal, moral, and ethical that we can do to bring jobs into this area, I'm all for. And that's going to happen over in Laurel, hey, let's bring it on. I don't have any problem with it. If we can do gambling over at Arundel Mills, then we can do horse racing over in Laurel. So let's bring those jobs home and let people work wherever they possibly can. So I'm all for it. I might even go over there and have a mint julep myself.
Absolutely. Or a black eyed Susan, but yeah.
Hey, I love it.
Absolutely. So, okay, final question for you. In one sentence, tell the audience and tell your voters why you are the candidate they should vote for in District 3.
I'm an honest man and I'm very, very, very experienced. And I mean this. I will not take money from foreign entities or anything like that. The bottom line is I'm here for you. I'm one of you. I'm not some rich guy trying to take advantage of the system. I'm a regular guy that has just seen enough. I will
Yes,
fight for you.
that no doubt you will. I know that. And I've known you for a long time, Bernie. You are exceptionally honorable. You're very loyal. And I know that you work tremendously hard. You're working hard on this campaign, and you'll work twice as hard for the voters of Maryland, which I think is fantastic. So, Bernie, one more time, May 5th, where is the event taking place? And give us some more details.
Oscar's Ale House is a restaurant over near Marriottsville. We're gonna get together from 5 to 7, and we're gonna sit and talk, and I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna do a lot less talking and a whole lot more listening, but I want you to come. And of course, yeah, we gotta, donate and try to buy commercials and all the
Oh,
things
yeah.
that are necessary. But the main thing is, I'm not trying to, break people's wallets or anything like that. I'm a grassroots guy. I understand people have to live, but we've got to step up against the things that are holding us down. I think Wes Moore and Sarah Elforth are bad for Maryland, and I want to put a break on those guys and turn things around. So come on over to Oscar's Ale House. 5 to 7 over in Marriottsville. Come and see me. Let's talk. I'm going to listen to what you have to say, get my little notepad out and see what we can fix.
I love that. Absolutely. May 5th. We will have details, obviously, in the description of this show. We hope everyone can join us there. I know I'll be there, Bernie. I can't wait for it. And I know these events are exceptional. Anyhow, there's a lot of energy, a lot of spirit. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Bernie, I want to thank you for joining me today on Power Hour. I know we will be talking again. We'll talk probably before that primary, and we'll talk and really get into some of the more details for the last minute procrastinating voters, but definitely fill out those absentee ballots like Bernie said. But I do appreciate you joining me today.
Brother, it's always a pleasure to be with you, even if we aren't talking politics.
Absolutely. Got that right. All right. So on behalf of candidate Bernie Flowers, I am Todd Schoenberger. Thank you once again for joining us on Power Hour. Coming up at 12 o'clock, I'll have a sit down with Peter Hand from Baker Street Advisors out in San Francisco. You will want to hear what their thoughts are on their investment philosophy. It's definitely got some people popping right now.